Well, hello. It's Mindset Monday. Mind Matters Monday. This is Topazz coming to you live from the Mile High City. Welcome to R&R with Topazz. I am excited about this evening's show. We have an amazing guest lineup for you. Unlike we've done before, we are going to really cater to our young voices this evening. Make sure that you like, subscribe, tag the bell if you're on YouTube. You are watching R&R with Topazz, Release and Rediscover, where we do Mind Matters different. We do Mind Matters for the culture. That's right. We focus on release and recovery through a diverse variety of exercises and formats. That's right. This is R&R with Topazz. This is CTN Media, Black media, something for the culture where we are changing the narrative. So make sure that you stay with us for this evening's exciting program. We're hearing from our Black children. Their voices will be heard this evening. Echoes from the chamber. That's right. Echoes from the chamber. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in because I really want to make sure that we have ample time for every single one of these voices to be heard. We are going to be focusing on how their lives have been impacted over the past year. There has been so much focus on everything that the adults are going through, how the adults are managing, how they're not managing, how we're working to strategize, to survive, gather resources, set up collectives and collaboratives, and we really haven't provided, in my opinion, enough space to hear from our children, from our incredible, brilliant, beautiful Black babies. And so tonight, we are going to hear from them. My audience tonight ranges from 10 to 17, and they all have their own independent think spirits, think souls. They think for themselves. And so tonight we are going to hear from them. So without further ado, let's bring those guests on board, bring them on into the space. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you all for accepting the invitation to be on the platform this evening. Give them a hand, audience out there in the chat. Give them a hand. Send up some signals to let them know that you are excited to see them and looking forward to hear what they have to say. All right. So I'm going to let them do a little bit of introduction for themselves, but I also have some bios that I want to read from, just a little bit of what I was provided. So I'm going to start with the youngest on our panel this evening, this incredible, stellar young lady, this brilliant young mind is Stella. And Stella is a fifth grade student going into middle school next year. She enjoys swimming, rollerblading, reading, and taking her dog on walks. She's learning during the pandemic. Her learning during the pandemic has been tough, but she's continued her healthy habit of reading and has found great new books to enjoy. Overall, she loves all her outdoor activities and her joy for reading, which always reminds her that there is more to a good life than what meets the eye. So Stella, what else would you like to say to the world? What do you want the world to know about you that was not written in this bio?
Something that you might know about me is that I love to read. I feel like I love being on important. I love talking on important matters because I feel like just because we're young people doesn't mean that we don't have the bright ideas that can change the world.
You are absolutely right. See, I knew I had the right people on this panel. She said, don't even think about underestimating them because they may have the very ideas to change the world. I hear you, sweetheart. We're counting on it. We are counting on it. All right. Next up, we have Let's see which direction we're going to go from here. Let's go to Onyx. Let's go to Onyx. Let me get to that bio real quick. While I am scrolling to this bio, please bear with me. I want you to know that this young lady is so talented, so multi-versed in her talent. She's a senior at Hinckley High School. She's an avid community member, athlete, and musician. At a young age, Onyx has always recognized the importance of compassion and service. She has participated in many community events, including volunteering around the community and different schools. She is a member of the Colorado Advanced Leadership. Onyx has been playing basketball since her elementary school years and is a point guard. She's always demonstrated leadership qualities, tenacity, and drive. And don't you play the violin? Onyx, do you play the violin? What instrument do you play?
Yes,
all
I
right.
do. Yes.
What I thought.
I've been playing
yes. Since when?
Since I was 5.
She's been playing the violin since she was 5. Don't you love that? Oh my gosh. Let the world know some other things about you that aren't mentioned in this bio.
So a few other things about me that, like, I'm a really big active community member. I'm also a part of the NAACP youth branch. And I also, there's so many, I'm always involved in community events, especially due to my mom and the people she works with. So, yeah.
Wow. What a gifted young lady. Thank you. Thank you. Next, I'm going to go over to Clayton McCrary. Clayton is 17 years old, a junior at Vista Peak, an honor roll student. His hobbies include video games, basketball, music. He likes dogs. He has a sense of humor. He's been to Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Long Beach, California, Oklahoma, Disneyland, and Disney World. Yay, Clayton. Welcome, Clayton. Clayton, what would you like the world to know about you that's not written in your bio? And let's get that camera on. Clayton, are you there? He may be having some technical difficulties. Clayton? Okay, well, while we're waiting for Clayton to work out whatever difficulty he may be having over there, we are going to jump over to Azaria, the beautiful Azaria. And we are excited to have Azaria on board. Azaria is a 9th grade student at Empower High School. She is the oldest of her siblings and cousins. She enjoys art, anime, music, and books. She's looking forward to getting her driver's license. Look at you. Where are you going when you get your driver's license?
Anywhere but my house for now.
We just won't be driving. All right, what do you want the world to know about you aside from what we've got that I just read here?
I consider myself a feminist. I'm part of the LGBTQ community, and I spend a lot of my time reading.
What are some of your favorite things to read?
I don't know. I have a wide variety of books I like to read.
Okay.
Fantasy, adventure, action kind of novels. I also like mystery and thriller.
Mystery and thriller. Okay. Now, you are an artist as well. Can you talk a little bit about your art?
Yes. It is heavily inspired by anime, because that's one of the things I really enjoy. I'm currently experiencing some difficulty, kind of a artist block, I guess. But I'm learning new art styles, and it's really fun to just draw and paint whatever comes to mind.
And didn't you do some journals?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you still selling those journals?
No.
Okay. Are you thinking about doing that again?
I'm actually trying to rebrand and find something I love even more.
Okay. Okay. Well, go ahead, man, with your creative ideas. Next, we're going to go to Gav the Leader. Gavin Morrison Ross, better known as Gav the Leader. You're now what grade are you in now? Because this bio I have is old. What grade are you in now, Gavin?
Now I'm in 6th grade.
He's a 6th grader. And what school are you at?
I'm at Aurora Quest.
Aurora Quest. He is a native of Colorado. His roots go back as far as 1874. Wow. Deeply rooted in Colorado. 2 years prior to Colorado becoming an official state, they were rooted. His family bloodline was already rooted. With a family committed to community, education, history, and service, this 10-year-old has developed a special passion in service to community's interest. Gavin could be found volunteering at the Denver Rescue Mission, Jack and Jill of America, Inc., Kappa Alpha Kappa Fraternity Incorporated, youth programs, and during the holiday season where Gavin likes to donate toys to ensure every child has a Christmas present. I love that. I absolutely love that. As a student at Aurora Quest, Gavin is involved in theater, chess, robotics, and coding. His favorite subjects are math, science, reading, and physical education. At Quest, Gavin has been featured as lead in plays Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Pets. So are you looking to win an Oscar someday?
I hope. But now I'm actually 11. I'm not 10 anymore.
Oh, you're 11. Okay, my bad. We surely don't want to put you in the 10 age group when you're 11, probably about 12. Professionally, he has secured roles in plays through the Potter's House of Denver, the University of Denver, and has been featured in several Black History commercials on KUSA Channel 9. You're already moving up into stardom. One of which oh my goodness, you were submitted for an Emmy? Wow. When not busy at school or in community, Gavin enjoys being with his family, playing soccer, building Lego cities, riding his hoverboard, and Gavin subscribes to the belief that you can do anything you put your mind to in order to achieve your goals. And all day long focus. What?
Strong.
Focus strong. All right, Gavin, anything else you want to add?
Well, when I was a little bit younger, I'm very dedicated to becoming an engineer when I grow up. But when I was younger, I didn't really understand that there's different types of engineers and like different ways you could do that. So now instead of building Lego cities, I want to build the cities of the future. So that way the homeless people and people struck with poverty and all kinds of bad things like that have a chance to be in a nice, sustainable home.
I love that. You truly are community driven. What a beautiful heart you have. That's awesome. See, this is our future, people, right here. These are the folks that are truly going to change the world that we live in. All of these people that you see right here, these young people, and the ones that are going to come after them, the ones that are coming alongside of them, the ones that are leading them, and the ones like-minded ones all over the world. So I am truly honored and privileged to have you all as my guests. So when you guys start winning your Oscars and your American Music Awards and your Nobel Peace Prizes and all of the various other awards and accolades that you're going to have, I'll be sitting back and say, I knew them when. I knew them when. So I am truly privileged to have you with me before the paparazzi starts getting crazy around you. So let's get started. Let me give Clayton another opportunity. Clayton, are you there? I'm not sure if you're having technical difficulties or what's happening. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there, but we're going to keep on pressing and hopefully he will just pop in once he gets whatever's happening resolved. So my first question is, how has this last year really affected you? Let's start with the pandemic. What are your thoughts about what all of this has meant to be in lockdown status, to not be able to go to places that you're used to going, to have to wear a mask everywhere that you go, to really have to be diligent in social distancing and cleaning your hands and all of those things that have been required of us in this pandemic. How has that impacted you? Anybody?
It's impacted me in a pretty negative way considering everything. Um School, just being around my friends, like even watching TV shows when they don't wear a mask. I'm kind of like, it's coronavirus. You can't be, it's global pandemic. You can't really be walking around without a mask. Um, it's just, it's hard to function now. Um, it's super strange, but I do understand there are people going through so much worse, and I respect that.
Okay. I think it's been hard for a lot of people, Azaria. I appreciate your honesty. Anybody else? How has this pandemic affected you, Gavin?
You know, I really feel like this pandemic affected me in good and bad ways. I feel like a bad way this affected me is because, I haven't been able to see that many of my friends, and it's just sometimes really hard just to be staring at a computer for 7 hours a day. The good thing about that I've taken out of this is that I've been able to spend more time with my family and learn new things that I like to do. But I do know once this pandemic is over, like I feel like all of our brains are just gonna be so used to staying away from people and you know getting like talking to people and just general things that you think are normal. I feel like they're just gonna seem so drastic to us.
Okay. Anybody else want to respond to that question? I'm glad to hear that there are some positive things for you as well, Gavin.
I would
On it.
like to respond.
Okay.
Well, as a senior, it's pretty hard because you would want to go to like the college like campuses, and experience like the real like the environment. Especially like it's really hard to really advocate for really what you need, especially in school because we have like a Colorado Career Center, and that's like everybody goes for support and for help sportsmen for, so it's pretty hard not to have that type of help. And like yeah, I feel like it's been hard, but the good thing about it is I sort of get to choose my schedule. I get out of school like at 10 a.m. So I mean I have one class, but it's okay. I mean
Yeah, I think it really is hard for seniors because you're not able to experience your senior year the way that you've been looking forward to for years. All of those things that have been so traditional as it relates to seniors is just, it's like out of reach, at least at this time. It seems that it's out of reach. So that makes it really hard. So I'm going to come back to you on that question.
Can I say one more?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I was just gonna add to what you had to say. Like we don't get to experience prom, first day, like your first last day of high school. You don't get to experience like the senior ditch day. I've been waiting since the 8th grade to experience the senior ditch day, and I don't get to have that. So it's really like if you really think about it.
So I'm wondering, are we having some technical difficulties? Chantel, are other people hearing static, or is it just on my end?
I don't know, because I thought that was just me for a minute, but I was hearing some static too.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully we can get that cleared up. I'm not sure what's causing that problem. Stella, you had your hand up.
About the pandemic, I feel like it's also affected me too in good ways and bad ways, because in some ways it's kind of like I learned a lot of new things about myself, and I had more time to kind of like focus on myself and the new things I could really find out how to do. But it's also kind of affected me in a bad way, because it made me start thinking about, like, there were almost 500,000 deaths that happened in COVID, and a lot of people weren't able to like experience a lot of good things coming out of this. Like, there's this tradition at my school, like the 5th grade overnight, and I've been waiting since 3rd grade to do it, and now it's just like, nope. So that made me kind of sad, but also, like, I have been able to, like I said before, focus on myself more and also spend more time with my family. My dog finally got some more attention, and we've been going on more walks and physical exercise. So that's been pretty nice too.
What kind of dog do you have?
He's pretty small. He's a Chihuahua mixed with Australian cattle dog. I really like him. His name is Scout.
His name is Scout. That's an unusual name for a dog. I've not heard that one before. Does he go out and like scavenge for things? He scouts for things, or what? How did he get that name?
Well, when we first got him and brought him home, he actually hid in a shoe closet. And then when we finally brought him out, he just kept sniffing around the house, all over the basement, and the front room, and the back room. So that's how we got the name Scout.
That's funny. Well, at some point you'll have to introduce us to Scout, if Scout's around, and hold him up so we can see what Scout looks like. I really appreciate, Stella, that you brought up the fact that there were almost 500,000 lives lost so far, and there are still lives being lost. And that makes it especially difficult. I don't know if any of you on this panel have lost family members to COVID. Is there anyone on the panel who has lost family members to COVID? Or friends? If you have, the deepest condolences to you for your loss. So deeply sorry to hear that. And our condolences go out to our viewing audiences that have had losses. That's painful, very painful. And so we definitely want to be sensitive to the fact that there definitely, this is a very serious situation, just as Azaria alluded to. And even expressing her frustration when she observes people that are not taking the appropriate safety precautions. Because even if you don't care about yourself, we've got to be mindful of other people and how we might affect other people. Are there other areas that you haven't mentioned yet that speak to how you have been impacted through this COVID. Anybody else have any thoughts about the pandemic?
Yeah. So another thought I think I've been having is that school has been getting a lot harder than it used to be. It's getting a little more complicated, because
Mhm.
like my school we do like masks breaks and stuff, and they're trying to make it as normal as they can, if that sounds, right.
Mhm.
But it just kind of makes everything feel different and makes you realize that what's going on is like not a joke and it's really serious. And then when you go on the news and you see all these deaths in all the countries and stuff and all these vaccines and like I think that I don't know about the vaccine because I know it's supposed to help us and stuff, but like there's been many other diseases and it's taken them years. Sometimes they haven't even finished some of them. And all of a sudden we just have this COVID vaccine that was made in just a couple of months. So, but yeah, those are just my thoughts on everything going on so far.
Yeah, I think that there are others that are experiencing more challenges learning online. Everybody learns differently, and learning online is not conducive to everyone's ability. And, when it comes to focusing, when it comes to staying motivated, some people learn better when you're in a face to face situation in a classroom. So I can appreciate that. It looks like Clayton is back with us. Clayton, welcome back. Sorry that you were having some difficulty. Can you turn your camera on? And I'm going to ask if everybody would just keep your cameras on and then just stay muted when you're not speaking. So Clayton, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Can you turn your camera on?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry that you were having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's my fault.
No worries.
Oh dang.
We'll take a couple of minutes and work on that. And I want you to think about what we've talked about so far is just how you've been impacted in the pandemic. So think about how you want to respond to that question, Clayton, and then you're going to double up with my next question. My next question is, what do you know about what's been happening in the country as far as the civil unrest? There's been a lot of civil unrest. And when I'm talking about civil unrest, I'm talking about all the protests that have been everywhere. Some of the protests have been violent. Some of them have been peaceful. Some of them have been for really good causes and really good reasons. And then there are others that are just in opposition to the people who are out there protesting for good reason. What are your thoughts about what's been happening as far as all of that kind of activity? And if you know about Black Lives Matter, how do you see that fitting into this? And it looks like Nia is also joined us. Okay, so Clayton, are you ready? Have you got that camera working yet?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what do you want to say in response to the question that I just asked? And then Nia, welcome to the conversation. If you can turn your camera on, that would be great. Awesome, awesome. Good to see you. Okay, Clayton, you're up. Go ahead. You can go ahead and answer the question. Have you got your volume on?
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the question was, how has the pandemic impacted you? And then how do you feel about the civil unrest that's been going on in the nation this past year?
Uh the pandemic has been affected me mostly in school. Just having to switch to online and having to adjust to not really having to be in a classroom environment and everything. It's all just kind of different, and it takes getting used to, at least for me.
Okay. Okay. Which is consistent with some challenges that other people are having as well. Anything that you want to say about the civil unrest with the protesting and the rioting that's been happening in the country over this past year? Anything that you want to say about that?
Uh, yeah, I just feel like it's been a long time coming, really. I feel like it's been a lot of people. I feel like it's been a lot of injustice and stuff been going on for years, and like now that all this has been put in the spotlight and everything, that a lot of more people got a voice, and everything is starting to a lot is starting to change. So I think that's really good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Is that Nyla or Nia that's back there? I can't tell.
Nia.
Hi, Nia. How are you? Welcome. So did you hear the question?
Yes.
Okay. How would you like to respond to the question?
So during quarantine, I haven't really gotten to hang out with my friends a lot. I've just been like sitting at home. But it's also good because I've been hanging out with my family and socializing. But I also have to like sit on the screen all day, and like it's harder for me to do work when I'm like not around other people. But I've got to spend more time with my family. And the protests and everything, I think that that some people need to like stand up for what's right, and I think it's good that everybody has been protesting, but protesting for the right things.
And what do you think that some of the right things are? What are the things that we really, really need to be pushing for in this climate?
I think some people need to be. I think we need to be pushing for Black Lives Matter, because some people think it's like a hashtag or just like a moment, like it was just at that time and now it's like kind of over. But it's like something that's still happening. It's not just gonna end because a free protest.
Okay. And you missed the introduction, so I'm going to ask if you would just really quick say your full name, how old you are, and tell us something special about you.
My name is Nia Pollard. I'm in 7th grade, and I'm 12 years old. And I like to make people laugh, like when they're sad and down, and I like to hang out with other people, and I like to just make times fun whenever it's sad, and like just make people smile. And I like to dance, and I like to do in shows, and I've been in a couple of shows at my school.
Like talent shows or what kind of shows?
Like musicals.
Okay. So you sing.
Uh, I was in the Willy Wonka musical, but
Okay.
we didn't get to do that because of COVID, because it ended early.
Okay. And you're at what school?
I'm at Laredo Middle School.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like the Willy Wonka musical was kind of going around because Gavin was in the Willy Wonka musical, or I don't know if yours was a musical or not, Gavin, but I know that was referenced in your bio as well. So you're an actress, Nia.
Yes.
So we have two actors on our panel. Lots of talent represented here, the arts. Who else wants to speak to the civil unrest and the protests? Anybody else want to speak to that? Gavin.
I really just feel like that all of this is kind of, I feel like it's just sad to see that we've been protesting all this time for one thing, but as soon as it starts to get more serious and things are getting a little more violent, people are like, "Oh, okay. Wow. we need to start focusing on this more, because I feel like they should just be like, okay, there's this cause they're trying to fight for and work for. We should just hear them out and try to, because it seems really simple to me that you could just do that instead of just only paying attention when people are have to make themselves stand out more. Also, I feel like the police brutality going on really needs to stop, because the people that are supposed to be protecting us and taking care of us and making sure that we're safe are the ones hurting us and killing us, which is
Mm,
okay.
excellent point. The ones who are supposed to be protecting us are unfortunately some, not all of them, but some of them are the ones killing us. Onyx.
I would like to bring up the riot going on Washington D.C., like in
Mm-hmm.
Washington D.C., the capital.
One from
I
January
feel like
6th. Yes, ma'am.
that was just, yeah, I feel like that was just a big, picture, like a big, like, of course, like, I don't know what to say. It's just because if black people did that, everybody would have been dead. But it's like, if a white person does, like, when the white people do it, it's just like, oh, a little warning, you know, this is really just shows us how our society is. Like, this is like the big, oh wow moment. Like, are you serious? One of those type of moments. I feel like it's just getting crazy and out of hand. And they can't even do anything about it because, that's just how our society is now. So, yeah.
Does everybody agree with that we can't do anything about it? Or are there some things that maybe we need to do about it? And if so, if you think there are some things we need to do about it, what are those things?
I just like probably not the need. I mean, just in my point of view, it's just because like, I don't know. I don't think we can just because like the Trump supporters like overtook that. I mean, we can. I don't know. I really don't know.
Any other thoughts? Gavin and Azaria, let's start with you.
I think we can do something, but yes, we have a better president now, but let's be honest, the president doesn't make all the laws. The uh, the House of the Senate or whatever has say in that, and we have to start from inside and move to the outside, not start from the outside and then get into the inside. Because if we are trying to work with our president, and our president can't do everything, and like even the what happened in the Capitol, we all know if it was any person of color, they would have either been in jail or they would have been shot dead. And if it was a black person, they definitely would have been shot dead immediately. And especially when it's just a lot of white supremacy built into the system. It's the system that needs to be destroyed, not anyone on the outside that just work for these people on the inside.
Wow, well, I certainly agree with that. We need to restructure the system. The system as it is was never developed or put in place with Black people or people of color in mind. It was really to our disadvantage from the beginning. I'm going to go to Stella. Miss Stella, what are your thoughts about Black Lives Matter?
I think that possibly the last president might have brought out some of the worst in people. And sometimes it makes me feel really sad because it's like over all this time, our ancestors fought for their rights, they were put in jail and all this stuff. And now, look where we're at. Like, what did they do all this for? For us to go and ruin it.
And do you have any thoughts about what we should be doing differently?
I think we should be doing a few things differently. Like, I don't know if anyone in this group does do it, but sometimes people judge others by the color of their skin or their race. But I feel like it's just, we're all human beings and we're all made differently. So it doesn't matter if we might have a disability, if our color of our skin are different. It's like, why would you judge someone just like that? And the Capitol, that I saw it on the news a little bit, but I didn't really watch too much of it because it got really just violent and stuff. And I agree, if it would have been some African American or Black people, then they would have been just shot or something horrible like that.
Well, there certainly seems to be a consensus about the fact that if those who were responsible for the insurrection would have been Black, that it would have ended very differently. It would have been a bloody January the 6th versus what it was. And I think that that's clearly obvious when we have so many Black folks being murdered for really no reason, unarmed, not necessarily a threat, certainly not as it relates to threatening the lives of a police officer, and yet they're killed in bed, sleeping, watching television in their apartments, minding their own business, walking down the street, and their lives have been lost, and there does not seem to be a lot of appropriate response from our system. How many of you are familiar with what happened locally with Elijah McClain? Are any of you familiar with Nia? What do you know about Elijah McClain?
I know that he was shot, and because he was like doing nothing, and it's like really bad because police keep on just like walking around and thinking it's okay because they're making up excuses for it, like it's okay, and like it's just an everyday basics, and they're making it everyday basic because it keeps on happening.
And I think you got him mixed up because there have been so many young Black men who have been shot. But Elijah McClain is the young man from Aurora, and he wasn't shot. Does anybody know what happened to him? Did I see your hand up? Clayton, was your hand up? Gavin, your
Yeah.
hand up. Okay, go ahead, Clayton.
I don't really remember exactly what happened. I just remember that it happened in Aurora.
Okay. Gavin?
So he wasn't shot. He was killed with ketamine because he was wearing his hood, and the police.
A mask. He was wearing a mask.
Yeah, he was just wearing a hood and he was wearing a long mask, and they instantly thought that he was doing something bad. So they just started attacking him and they killed him with ketamine.
Does anybody know what ketamine is? Onyx?
Isn't ketamine like a certain type of drug you like snort up? So like, I don't know specifically what it was, but I don't know.
No, it's
but
not.
I was just gonna add on to
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You could continue with it.
No, go ahead, sweetheart.
Oh, I was just gonna say basically, yeah, I was just gonna add on to him. He was like begging for like, they just stopped him and just said he was acting suspicious right off the bat. And he was like, can y'all like talk to me or whatever, like begging for that type of, mercy or whatever. And I guess like I seen the video. It was very graphic, but I don't know what ketamine is.
Anybody on the line know what ketamine is?
I don't know what ketamine is, but I do know that they kept pumping it into him, and that just wasn't good for him.
Correct. That's correct. And it is like a tranquilizer that stopped his heart, and it really should not have been used under those circumstances. And it doesn't appear that it was used by someone that really knew what they were doing. Ketamine has been used with animals to tranquilize animals, but ketamine has also been used in humans. There's a form of ketamine that is sometimes used when people have surgery. But if you don't know what you're doing, just like with any drug, any pharmaceutical, you are at risk of overdosing. You are at risk of experiencing some life-threatening consequences. And between all of the stress and the adrenaline, his adrenaline was really pumping because they were restraining him and wrestling him and fighting him. He was already nervous and he was already experiencing some anxiety, and his heart started pumping too fast when they put the ketamine, and then they injected him. It's an injectable. They injected him with the ketamine, and it killed him, and it caused him, his it was too much for his heart. You mentioned that, Gavin, that he had a hood on. He had a hood and a mask. Who else was killed because they had a hood on? What young person was killed because they wore a hoodie? Anybody know? And you may have been.
Martin.
Yes. And what else did he have? He was walking home from the store. He had his hoodie on, and he was eating what? Anybody know what he was eating?
Skittles.
And
Exactly.
Arizona.
Yes. Just innocent, totally innocent, minding his own business, walking home. Chantel, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I saw some comments pop up from the feed. If you can put those in the chat, if you can cut and paste, put those in the chat so that I can see them, that would be great. I do want to respond to comments that were out there. Or can you just read that, please? Because that is so tiny. Can any of you guys read what that says? One of you, that is so tiny, I can't see it. So if you can help me see it, I would appreciate it. Can anybody see what that
job
says?
Students are. Oh yeah, great jobs. The comment on the bottom.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, great job, students. Our future is in your hands. Keep up the great work, and our future will be bright.
Awesome. And that was from who? Who was that from?
Real Mort one.
Okay, awesome. And then the next one. What does the next comment say?
I am extremely proud of y'all. Thank you for using your voice and sharing with us.
And that is from Dr. Ryan Ross.
Yes.
All right. Any other comments? You want to read that? Somebody? Anybody? Go ahead, Onyx, since you seem to be the one able to see it.
My mom said, so glad to have this wonderful panel. Sorry. Wonderful panel.
Awesome. Any other comments? Amanda McDonald, amazing young people. Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. From Myra Giles, bless, what does that say? Bless those babies. Aw, bless those babies. Anything else? Any other ones out there? Mrs. Damon, I'm so proud. You should be. All right, let's get one more if there's another comment in the chat. All right. So my next question, unless anyone else has anything else to say about what we've been talking about before we move on. Yes, sir, Gavin.
I just wanted to talk about what we can do to fight back a little more against oppression and racism.
I love it.
I feel like one of the main big things we have to do is we have to make sure that we vote, because that is something really important that some people don't think that their vote oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I can't talk. That their vote doesn't count, when really that's not true, because we're voting on who's supposed to lead our country, who's supposed to make the decisions on our behalf. And if you're not voting in showing what you believe in, then it might end up coming back at you. Also, I feel like we need to work as a community and a unit, because when we're working together, we can get more things done. Um, we also just have to start educating more people, because too many people don't understand and know what's going on. And I feel like what we're doing right now is also a good way of educating people. But yeah, those are my main things.
Well, that was an excellent lead in because we are almost out of time. Man, the hour goes by so fast. I would like to leave on a positive note. And so my question to you all is, it's a two-part question. Well, it's not a two-part question, but it's two questions that you can answer back to back, and everyone can have an opportunity to respond to this question. And that is, number one, what is something that you would like to say to any other youth that might be watching out there that is really struggling right now? One of the things that we didn't get to tonight that I had hoped to be able to talk about was some of the violence in our own communities. We're dealing with the pandemic, we're dealing with civil unrest, a lot of racism, but we're also dealing with a lot of violence in our community, a lot of drive-by shootings, and a lot of young people have been murdered over this past year. And there are a lot of really young people who've lost brothers and sisters and best friends and boyfriends and uncles and cousins, and at really, really young ages. Just as recent as this weekend, there was a 16-year-old that was killed in Montbello. And I had hoped to be able to talk about that. And so if you have any thoughts about that, what do you want to say to young people who are watching, who may be just really feeling hopeless right now? They're feeling like the world is a terrible place because they're failing in school right now. Maybe they're dealing with depression. They haven't found a way to make the best out of the circumstances and everything that is going on right now. They're just feeling so overwhelmed. What would you say to young people who are watching to really kind of encourage them and give them hope? And then I'll save my second question. We'll come back around. We're going to try to, hopefully Facebook won't knock us off, but go for it. Let's start right here with Clayton, and then we're going to come around. Clayton, what would you say?
I'll probably say that uh pretty much whatever you're going through, you're stronger than whatever the world throws at you. You know, as long as you got people in your corner and you got the will to, you know, keep moving on and stay strong, and you can get through anything. You know, anybody's strong. Everybody's strong in their own way. Everybody's special. Everybody can do whatever they put their mind to. So I feel like that's really how I get through my days. And you know, I feel like that's something everyone can do.
Thank you for that. Gavin? And because we're almost out of time, I'm going to ask everyone to try to synchronize their answers because I want everyone to have an opportunity to respond. Go ahead, Gavin.
Right, I'm just gonna make this quick. I feel like you just have to make sure that you're caring for others as much as you're caring for yourself. You know, you making sure that you're healthy. Making sure that your mind is healthy, because if you're just going through things that are really stressful, you might just need to take a minute, calm down, and just like plan out the things that you want to do, and think about your goals, because I feel like when you make goals, those are just baby steps to your biggest goal and your biggest achievement that you want to complete.
Thank you. Thank you. Nia?
I would say just like slow down and take a deep breath and just like think about everything and like just know that you are loved and that you can get through this, and whatever anybody says, you can get through it, whatever you're going through, and not just like focus on one thing at a time.
Love it. I love it. Azaria.
Take some time for you, and care for yourself and others around you. Be sure to follow the pandemic guidelines, but to also care for yourself and make sure that you're okay before you make sure everyone else is okay.
Thank you, Azaria. Stella.
I think that I agree with Azaria. Take some time to focus on yourself. And if you're feeling really sad and down in the dumps, find someone to talk to. Like, you might be able to have an online chat with your friends, maybe some of your family members, and also speak up about it because sometimes, even if you're shy, you need to tell other people how you're feeling and how you think. Like, if you have a really good idea on how to make the world a better place, you should speak up because we need to hear some of the new voices.
Can you state that last sentence again? Because I have a feeling that was really good and your volume went way down on one part of that. Can you say that again, please?
I said that we should speak up because we need to hear some of these voices on how to make the world a better place.
Awesome. Thank you. Onyx.
Well, what I would say, just communicate to probably, if you're going through like depression or anything, communicate with like somebody you trust, you know? And were we still talking about like the shootings and everything, or just like a good
Just in any
ending?
one of those areas, if you think somebody is having a hard
Okay.
time, what do you want to say to them to encourage them?
Okay, yeah, just probably just you'll get through it at the end of the day. Like every day is a new day. So you have a different start every single day. So don't let the past define you as a person. Don't ever let the past define you as a person. And yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. Don't let the past define you as a person because there are a lot of people who are so down and hard on themselves because of past mistakes. They have not forgiven themselves. It's important to forgive yourself and really let past mistakes become a learning opportunity so that you can do better and not continue to repeat those mistakes. And so, my last question that I want to leave with is what would you say anything about Black History Month, something that sticks out to you, maybe something that you've learned or that you've realized that you want to leave the people with, given that this is the first day of Black History Month? And while you're thinking about your response, Mrs. Damon says, "Thank you, Onyx. No one should be defined by their worst moment." Oh, I love that. No one should be defined by their worst moment. Do we have any other comments? One more comment while they're deciding what they want to say about Black History Month. Looks like Kenyatta Jackson. Shout out to the parents of these amazing youth, Ryan, Janet, Lee, Jice. I see you. And then Reggie and what's your mom's name? I know your dad, Clayton. What's your mom's name?
Nicole.
Nicole and Reggie. And Maisha. We have Maisha. And what's your dad's name, Nia?
Greg.
So Maisha and Greg. And Kenyatta Jackson says, shout out to the parents. Oh, okay. So that's the same one that I just read. Okay. So you guys ready to give a lesson or a statement, something you want to say about Black History Month? All right. Go for it, Gavin. I see you shaking your head.
So, first, I just want to shout out to Black Lives Matter because they just got a Nobel Peace Prize, which is a really big deal, and I think that's really important and cool. Another thing I think that we should start doing is I've noticed that a lot of schools don't teach that much Black History Month, just in lessons. Like a few years ago, I we were all writing like our opinion statements, literacy, and I decided to just write a big long paragraph or two about why Black history should be in schools. So now today, I'm really proud to say that my school is celebrating Black History Month.
Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else? What do you want to say about Black Stella?
So I want to say that even though our ancestors started us off, it's our job to be able to finish it and continue their legacy, so that
Awesome.
future generations can learn about it.
Nice. Onyx.
Something I would like to say, I just feel like this is a month for us to really it's not really just a month for us now. We go through this every single day, so I feel like, this is way more for us. I don't know, like we're really gonna like the Black Lives Matter community is really gonna go the extra mile to really make this stop. But this has been going on for many years, decades. So I feel like 2021 is probably our year to really get some type of change, or some type of some type of change.
I agree. And it's already begun. Kamala Harris, breaking down barriers. Yes, yes, yes. Azaria.
Our skin never changes, but this is our month to really show off our skin and say, "Hey, I'm Black and I'm proud to be Black."
Nia.
I think that history has gone through a lot, and slavery has gone through a lot. And I also agree with Stella that we should finish off with the slavery. And I think that Black people have been through a lot, but we always get through at the end of the day, and we come back stronger, even when other people push us down because of our color.
Yes, yes, yes. Clayton. Oh, did you start? I think you were the first one. Did you start or
No,
not?
I didn't say
Okay.
anything yet.
Okay, go for it.
I guess the main thing is kind of it getting more recognition stuff. I feel like Black History Month is real unrepresented, and it's only like Black History Month. It's only in February, but I feel like Black history should be celebrated throughout the whole year. It deserves it, and we deserve it at this point. So yeah, I just feel like through schools and a whole bunch of other, everyone should really be talking about it more than just February.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We celebrate our Blackness every single day, 365 days a year. We have so many reasons to be proud. And it begins with you guys right here on this screen. Every single one of you guys make us proud. And so I'm going to go around one more time and just say the names of our panelists and their age. And so we had Azaria Johnson, age 14. And if I say the wrong age, please correct me. That's correct, right? 14. We had Stella Damon, age 10. We had Onyx. And Onyx, what's your Steve? Is that your last name? Oh, that's right.
Oates.
Onyx Oates, age 17.
I'm 18.
Oh, really? Oh, well, excuse me,
Yeah.
Onyx. All right. Then we have Clayton McCrary, age 17. And we had Nia Pollard, age 11?
12.
12, age 12. You guys are really growing up on me. And then we had Gavin Ross, age 11. All right. And Azaria is Jice's daughter. Stella, Janet's daughter. And what's your dad's name? Janet?
My dad's name is Shane.
I'm sorry?
My dad's name is Shane.
Shane? Janet and Shane. And Azaria, what's your dad's name?
Brian.
Brian and Jice. And we had Onyx, Lee, and one more time, your dad?
Tony.
Tony, Lee and Tony. We had Clayton, Reggie, and my mind is terrible. What? No, it's not terrible. What's your mom's name again, Clayton?
Nicole.
Nicole. And then we have Nia, whose parents are Maisha, and be ready to say his name.
Greg.
Maisha and Greg. And then we had Gavin, Simone, and Ryan. I want to make sure that we give both parents a shout out. Just because we only know one does not mean that other parent is less valuable. We appreciate you all. I appreciate your parents for supporting you and being here. And you all are just amazing. You are brilliant. Don't let anyone or any situation or circumstance steal your greatness, steal your joy, steal your peace. Hold on to your value. Your value is rich. You are the change already in motion. You guys are already making things happen, okay? We appreciate you, and we are applauding you already at your young ages, right where you are. You are making a difference. You more than matter. Matter is the minimum. Don't forget that. Matter is the minimum. And this has been R&R with Topazz. To all of our viewers who stayed with us, thank you for supporting us. R&R, release and rediscover. We breathed. We took a deep breath at the beginning of this, and we are releasing now through celebrating these young people. We are here on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Don't miss us next week. R&R with Topazz is part of the CTN Media show format. So stay with Black media, something for the culture, where we are changing the narrative. Tomorrow on CTN, you have 7 Generations at 4 p.m. On Wednesday at 10 a.m., you have the Resource Report at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Again, this is Topazz with R&R, and we are blessed and honored and privileged to have been here with these young people this evening. I got to have you guys back. You got to come back again because you guys were so amazing. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Congratulations on your achievements, and know that this is just the beginning, and it doesn't matter whatever your mistakes were yesterday. They are behind you. You're going forward. Thank you guys. So proud of you. Have a good night, everybody.